Okay. So we're at a big project today, and each of the hot tubs that we're putting in are getting an ozone. So I thought we'd take a little bit of time to have Ron show us how to do that. Thought while we were sitting here, since we have to put ozones in all 7 of the tubs, we might as well learn how to do it. So, master technician Ron,
who just dumps his tools on the floor,
trashed his tools, is gonna break down how to install an ozone. Now, are these Corona or are they the other?
They are Corona discharge.
Corona discharge, okay. Because what are the two?
Ultraviolet light or Corona discharge.
Corona discharge, okay, and these are Corona.
First thing you do is install the drain plug.
Yeah, we want to make sure that when they go to fill these, they don't lose all their water.
All right, so the factory gives us a spot to put the ozone. Essentially, they just mark it with a sticker.
Which is nice.
Yes. And then they also give us the directional flow, which is also nice because that can be confusing.
Yeah, we got the breakdown. So this water's coming off of where?
It's actually coming off our chlorine salt generation system, or the salt chlorine generation system.
Oh, okay, so it feeds into there and then it comes through. Oh, that's so that if you go salt, it's going to hit there first and then come through. Since these aren't salt, it's just going to go through the ozone.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So this is our Mozzie. It's basically what we use to inject the ozone into the water.
It spreads it, right?
It does. It actually mixes it up. It also creates a venturi to siphon it out of the ozone system itself, the generator.
Okay. And what tools do you need? It's real basic, right?
It is real basic. I've got this down to a system where I've been doing it for forever and a day. As long as you don't dump your tools out on the floor.
Yes, you know where they're all at.
So a pair of pliers. I like my big clamp pliers. And then a pair of cutters.
Okay.
That's all you really need. And I also use a needle nose pliers, and that'll make sense in just a moment. The easiest way I found to do this is install your clamps on the Mozzie first.
Okay.
Because I do these a lot of the time where there's water in the system, and so you have to be quick. And if you're trying to put clamps on the pipes first.
Yeah, just make sure.
So then our spot to cut is right here. We just take our flow. Mozzie has to be in accordance with that. Slide it on.
Install the second end.
Yeah. And then it's easy just to take your clamps and slide them over.
Nice.
Secret of the trade. Charge $1 million for that one.
Yeah, that was a lot faster than normal.
It is.
And then they give you a ton of extra hose.
Which is actually needed because you have to create the siphon appropriately, but you want to keep this above water level.
Oh.
When you go to zip tie this in.
Okay.
It's important because you'll get, sometimes the check valves will fail.
And you'll get a little backflow.
And it'll actually short out your Mozzie, or your ozone, I mean.
Oh, wow.
So then I just kind of route this up through so that it's nice and clean.
And then higher.
Yep, so just as long as I'm touching the bottom of the fold in the shell itself. And then I'm actually going to mount the generator over here on the back side of this post. That way it's convenient and easy to see and work on down the road. And then there's just some plumbing lines in here. Factory gives us a couple zip ties.
Oh, nice. You can tie that up nice and clean.
Biggest thing is you don't want any kinks in any of the lines. That we're restricting the flow.
So what is ozone? Like the simple version of it?
It's basically oxygen with an extra molecule of oxygen.
Okay.
Acts as a disinfectant.
Okay. And I think I've heard you say it once. It has no like preference or no.
It's indiscriminate on what it'll kill.
Yeah,
it'll attack anything and everything.
Okay. So it's great for sanitizing water.
It is. Its lifespan is pretty short though. That's the biggest drawback.
Oh, by the time it hits the water, does its thing, it's pretty much spent its life before it
45 seconds to a minute, yeah. By the time it hits the surface of the water, it's pretty much done its thing. I like a stubby screwdriver for installing these short stubby screws. The generator is located in this box.
Freshwater 3.
So when I mount this, I mount It's about right here, height-wise.
Kind of close to where the
Yeah,
panel hooks
that works
in.
pretty well. That way it's easy to get to, because you do have to replace these periodically. And if they're hidden and hard to get to, it makes it frustrating.
Oh, and then you just attach it with the screw on the back?
Yep.
Nice. That ain't bad. And then what, we're gonna feed the plug, or the hookup through one of
the
these and then
electrical.
into the board?
And our route power wire, nice and clean. And I have a strain relief in the van that I'll grab to help keep our wires tight. And it just connects to the black, which is labeled. And right next to it says white ozone, which is also labeled.
Oh, nice. So right on the board.
Yep.
If I can get I'll try to get that real quick. Ozone right there, and then you have next to the plugs the corresponding colors. Oh, nice. And then you just got to now hook up the hose to the ozone generator.
Correct.
Cool.
And another secret $1 million.
Giving away all
my secrets. I'm gonna be unemployed by the time this video's made.
Now most people aren't gonna do this themselves, anyways.
No. And all I'm doing there is just stretching the ozone line so that it's a nice, easy.
Oh, that's that's so much easier. Nice.
Okay. Ozone's installed.
I mean, obviously, as you can see, that's something that a semi-handy person could probably figure out, but we still recommend that a professional comes and does it, just because once it's hooked up, and especially if the hot tub has water and things, it's nice to have someone that can test it, check it, make sure that it's working correctly, so that your water stays nice and clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome. Thank you.